Hi gang, I'm so excited for you to be joining me for FLC Rehab. You should be receiving your test kits if you haven't already, and it's going to come in this big packet. The first thing I'd like you to do is open it up and take out not one, but two of the ice packs that are in here. And go ahead and put both of these ice packs in the freezer right away. Next, what I'd like you to do is right in between the silver shipping liner and this white, you'll see an envelope. Go ahead and pull it out. In this envelope, it has your requisition form, which you need to go ahead and complete. This requisition form, you want to complete all of your patient information, any medications or supplements. You should have selected either the 201 Functional Adrenal Stress Profile, which is just the basic panel. It's just if you're not having your hormones tested. For the rest of you, you want to make sure that the 205 Functional Adrenal Stress Profile plus V is selected. That's going to include hormones like estrogen, testosterone, melatonin, as well as progesterone. And then next is the patient payment. Really important. They can't run your test without your patient payment information. For the basic panel, it's $116. For the extended panel with hormones, it's $198. Go ahead and put in the amount and then send in a check or your credit card information. This then is going to go back in to this biohazard bag once it's been completed. And you're going to want to put it right back in between where that silver liner is. The next thing you'll have in here is going to be your packing and shipping information and your patient test instructions. Make sure you pull these out and read them thoroughly. There are quite a bit of details in here to make sure that you successfully complete your test without having to redo it. Now, the first and most important piece is the day of testing. There is absolutely no caffeine. So that means no caffeinated herbal teas, no coffee, as well as no decaffeinated coffee, because there's still a little bit of caffeine in there. I also want to make sure that you abstain from alcohol, and I'm requesting that you keep track of all of your meals, not only what you ate, but specifically what time, as well as exercise. If you exercise the day of testing, make sure that you keep track of what time, how long, and what type of exercise you did. So very important, when you start out your testing, you're going to go ahead and pull out your test tubes, which are in this other biohazard bag. There's 4 of them, and each one of them is labeled for a specific time of testing. You're going to pull out your first one, which is going to say morning on it, right on the top. And you're going to want to go ahead and rinse out your mouth with cold water 3 to 5 minutes prior to testing, just to make sure you're rinsing out any debris. Also really important that you don't brush your teeth, as well as no eating or drinking anything before you test. So you're going to go ahead and unscrew the cap and go ahead and start spitting. Now, to help saliva production, I highly, highly recommend having some sugarless gum on hand. It will not interfere with your test, but it will significantly boost saliva production so that you can get this done within 5 or 10 minutes instead of something like 45 minutes. Now, if you forget this step, if you have a lemon on hand, that can also help to increase your saliva production. You're going to want to make sure that you make it up to 4 mLs of straight saliva, not foam. And when you're done, screw the cap on tightly. You're going to go ahead and pull out your labels and put your name, collection time, and date. Pull this off and stick it right on the side of your test tube. These test tubes then go back into the freezer when you're done until you're ready to ship. Now, the time of collection is really important. You'll notice in your instruction testing sheet, it will tell you what time to test. It's between 6 and 8 a.m., between 12 and 1, between 4 and 5, and then 10 and 12 at night. And it's really important to set an alarm an hour before you're going to test, because you can have no food or drink except water an hour prior to spitting. So set an alarm for, say, 6 a.m. to remind you no eating, and test at 7. Set an alarm at 11 a.m. to remind you no eating or drinking. Test at noon. You can eat afterwards, obviously. Set an alarm at 3 p.m. and then one at 9 p.m. just as a reminder, because it would be horrible to get through 3 of your tests, samples, and then have to start all over again. So good reminders to make sure that you get everything done. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and take all those test tubes out of the freezer. You're going to go ahead and put them back inside this silver shipping container. You'll put your first ice pack in. You're gonna go ahead and then roll up your test tubes just like this so they can go right in between these ice packs. Really important to try to get them squished in between here. And then you're gonna go ahead and pull off this tab and seal it. You'll stick this entire thing back in your bag. So make sure that you've pulled out your UPS shipping label, envelope, and label. Your requisition form goes back in. And then you're gonna go ahead and pull off the seal and make sure this is pulled down all the way to the blue line. Once you're done, you're gonna take a sharp object like a razor blade and you're gonna puncture both sides of this envelope so that it self-inflates. It will self-inflate within a few minutes. And then when you're finished with that, you'll take out this UPS pack and you'll make sure that you put the address label on and you're gonna put this entire packet inside the shipping envelope and then drop it off at your UPS store or a UPS mailbox. Really important that this is only ships Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday because we need to make sure it's not held over the weekend. All right, gang, so anxious to hear all about and receive all your test results and get you on the road to health. Thanks so much.